Time for the big fight, guys. You want to ring the bell? Ding, ding. Let's rank the Rocky fights, everyone.
Cover leader, calling Raven.
Payback time.
Come with me if you want to live.
You just don't turn it off!
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. In today's video, we'll be ranking all the final fights from the Rocky movies, from Rocky 1 all the way to Creed 3. So if you're new to the channel, you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel out a lot. So even though this franchise, guys, really is a drama, but we all get excited for that end fight, don't we? So we're going to be ranking all the end fights, not every single fight. We'll save that for another day, baby. But this will be all the final fights from Rocky 1 all the way to Creed 3. And just how I feel about them, what I really like about them. It was an interesting ranking to put together. So comment down below. Let me know what your ranking is of these final fights in the franchise. We'll have a good discussion and all that. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. So easily at number 10 here is Creed 3 for me. I did not really like this movie at all. It did not do much for me, and neither did the fight. It's really the style of the fight really brought it down. I did not like this anime style that Michael B. Jordan did with this. This movie really forgets what franchise it belongs to. I get it. It's Creed now. Go do something different. Rocky's not in the picture. There was nothing exciting about this fight. There was nothing interesting. Damian wasn't that interesting to me. Their whole relationship wasn't that interesting. There was something there for sure. This fight lacks any kind of heart and soul. You knew that Creed was going to win this fight. Now, granted, we knew that in the Rocky fights too, but it was the way it was executed. I didn't feel any kind of tension. I didn't get a fist pump moment, an excited moment. This is the only fight in this whole franchise, I'll let you know now, that I don't enjoy. You know what I mean? So yeah, this sits at number 10 easily. Now from here on out, I like all these fights. So coming at number 9 is Rocky 5 Fight. I think this movie's a lot better than people give it credit for. I'm not one of these people who feels like Rocky had to fight in the ring for this to work. It's just my least favorite, really. I don't think anything is overall interesting or anything, but there is a nice build up. There's that moment where Tommy Gunn punches Paulie and then Rocky loses it. You knock me down, right? I really like that. And I like how Rocky takes him out really quick, but then Tommy Gunn kind of cheats and it gets to be this grand spectacle that it didn't really need to get. I didn't really like the whole music behind it, but I don't mind the fight itself. The idea of the fight, I just think it all could have been handled better. Like Rocky came from the streets. This is how he fought. He was a street fighter. And if you play the Xbox game, there are some background storytelling there where, that's what Rocky's doing before he joins Mickey's gym, is that he's out there street and fighting for money. He was a street fighter at first. I did like all that. I like Tommy Morrison. Don't get me wrong, I like him. I just don't like the way they handled his character as Tommy Gunn. I mean, Tommy Morrison was a warrior in the ring, man. The guy had 42 knockouts, but it's still a good enough fight for me, though. Like I said, every one from here on out I really enjoy. Coming in at number 8 is the Creed fight from the first Creed movie. I really like the villain here. I like Pretty Ricky Conlon. I love his attitude. This guy's a real boxer in real life, and you can tell, man. It's the fight where you could draw the most parallels to the original Rocky fight. I really like the colors of the fight, the palette they're using. It's really got that red, white, and blue kind of color palette to it. I mean, Rocky's the heart of this movie, really, and he's right there with Adonis, coaching him along during this fight. But the fight's brutal. The fight is very vicious. You can really feel the punches. Love the way it's shot and everything like that. They do show some of the brutality, how swollen Adonis's eye gets. And there's these really nice insert shots of the blood splashing everywhere. You know what I mean? And the buckets of the pail of the buckets so that they're spitting in and everything like that, showing how busted up these guys are getting. And yeah, I really dig it. I really like the music in it. There's a certain style where it kind of, the crowd fades out and it's just, they're in shadow, like alone in the ring kind of, you know what I mean? And I do really dig that a lot. And I like that character arc at the end where Adonis wants to go the full distance because he has to know, am I a mistake? It's what the whole movie's building up to, right? He's in Apollo's shadow. Am I a mistake or was I born to do this? Like, am I like my father, so to speak? So yeah, I really like this fight. Coming out number 7 is the Creed 2 fight. Now, I really do like this fight. There's a lot of emotion running through it. There's a lot of build up to it. You're spawning off of Rocky 4, especially the director's cut. You can really feel the history of what's going on. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of tension. This is the fight where you start seeing that video game technology coming in, where things start feeling a little fake in some of the slow-mo shots, some of the crowd and stuff like that. And, we've always seen slow-mo punches, slow-mo action in Rocky fights. This is where I feel like it's the most fake. Again, a good job at showing the brutality. There's one part where Victor Drago hits Creed and his face just goes right up. You see the blood spray in the air. I absolutely love that, because the brutality of boxing, the viciousness, the dangerousness, right? Just really like all of that. But the real heart of this is the relationship between Victor and Ivan Drago. When the tide turns and then it's Victor Drago getting his ass kicked, this is where Ivan Drago throws in the towel. Man, it takes you right back to Rocky 4, where Ivan's punching on Apollo and Rocky doesn't throw the towel in time. And then people, you just got that moment. Okay, just stop you just feel for these two. You feel more for Ivan and Victor than you do for Creed and Rocky. Like, in my opinion, anyway. And I really like that. I would love to see a spin-off of these two, of Ivan and Victor. But I like that where Drago has that moment and he's like, no, my son means more to me than all these politicians, all these people I'm trying to appease who don't care nothing about me. And at the end, after Ivan throws the towel in, he's telling Ivan, it's okay. It's okay. I love you no matter what. I love you no matter what. If you win or you lose, you went out like a warrior. You know what I mean? So it's really that heart of the story that I really like, and the way it's executed in this fight. Coming at number 6 is the Rocky Balboa fight. Now, we haven't seen Rocky in some time when Rocky Balboa come out. Love this movie to death. What a great way to bring Rocky back, and all his motives for fighting are excellent. Now, I am not the biggest fan. This is why this one sits here, of the real life Las Vegas kind of HBO boxing fight. I get it. He really grounded it in reality. It looks great. It really does. I think the Rocky fight should have a little bit more cinematic freedom. The Rocky fights were usually a lot more cinematic than that, and more movie fights, you know what I mean? And they really tried to ground this, and I appreciate that. Stallone's putting a unique style on this, and it really is parallel to what he's going through in the movie. Losing Adrian, all the loss, all the anger, all the hurt. He's letting it out. And there's that one moment where he pretty much gets almost knocked out. And then you hear him say, what did I tell the kid? Keep moving forward. And he gets up. And that look on Mason Dixon's face, priceless, man. And it's a good fight. It just sits here just because, I don't know, I wasn't really big on the real life look of everything, personally. Coming at number 5 is Rocky 3. I love this fight. This fight is over the top. It's awesome. The punches sound like giant explosions. I mean, Clubber Lang is what really makes this fight, because I love this villain so much. I absolutely love Clubber Lang. The idea in the narrative is that Rocky can only go like 8 rounds, or he'll run out of gas at the pace that Apollo sets him at. So Stallone does something different here. He only makes it 3 rounds. I still prefer the 15-round fight format. And Stallone did something a little bit different here. So it feels rushed in a lot of ways to me when I'm actually watching it. But my God, man, Stallone, I counted in the first round, he throws like 76 punches and lands 74 on Clubber Lang. Clubber Lang lands 2. Rocky is a beast in this. He's fighting like Apollo and himself, going to the body, going to the face. He's jabbing, he's slipping, he's hooking, he's fighting like a real boxer, and I love that. I love all the antics of the fight too. The fight's more paced, like a lot of close-ups, a lot of them talking and everything like that. And there's one point, Clubber Lang actually snarls like a dragon. He's like, I'm going to get you this time. You're mine. And he goes, like that. It's great. Paul at the ringside too, man, like, get up, man, get up. Or he's like, what the hell are you doing? That's not the way I taught you, man. Just go out there and do it, Rock. Eye of the tiger. Be more man than him. That's where I love this fight. I just love Apollo in it and what he's doing and everything like that. But still, it's a great fight. It really is. Coming at number 4 is the Rocky fight from the original Rocky 4 fight from 1985. I mean, the work Stallone and Dolph put into this, The way Stallone cut it together, it's fantastic. It's cut together to the music so well. It's an amazing fight, and Stallone got seriously injured in this fight. He come back to finish the fight, and just, man, they're really throwing punches. They're really into their characters. You won't see anything like this again, the way these two guys committed their bodies to this fight, man. You're watching this fight going, that was a real punch, man. That looked like it hurt, man. I do like how Stallone, he brings back that 15-round format. Clearly, it works, right? That's what we like to see through the montages and everything like that. It takes Rocky a couple rounds to get going. But at the end of the second round there, I'm fist pumping through that, man. Where Rocky picks the Russian up like a wrestler, pulls him down, and Drago knows, oh my God, this guy, you're in for a real fight. Rocky's ferocious in this with those body punches and everything. Way he just doesn't give up, and when he gets pulled back to his corner, and Duke's like, you see, you hurt him, you cut him. He's not a machine, man. He's a man. You want it more than he does. It just gets you jacked, man. And what can I say? The fight is awesome. The way it ends is awesome. His nice little speech is awesome. It's a product of this time, this movie, and it's glorious, man, to watch. You know what I mean? The whole movie's just like one big music video. There's a lot of charm to it. But yeah, just love this fight every time. Now, coming at number 3 is the Rocky IV Director's Cut Rocky versus Drago fight, which I feel like is improved for the most part. That's why it sits here. And as you know now, I've included this one in here because I think the changes he makes are big changes that I really like. As far as the cinematography, the color palette, he cools it down a bit. He changes the punch sounds. That makes it really dramatic. When Drago starts fighting, when they start fighting, Rocky's actually fighting back really well with the body punches, you know, right away. There's a lot more with Adrian in here. The look on her face, the way she's in shadow and in darkness, you know, this is a scary fight, man. Rocky goes into this fight, you know, I may have just a 50% chance I may get killed, but I'm not going to quit, you know what I mean? That one shot where he gets knocked down that he put back in here where he's kind of talking, it's his thoughts going, get up, don't be scared, get up, you know what I mean? I just feel like you see more of a battle. You see more of a real gritty battle in here. You feel the punches a lot more. Some of the shots in here are just dramatic. You know, I think the storytelling's just a little better. The only thing is, I'm not big on when they lift him up the air when he wins at the end, and he's kind of like this. I prefer the original cut as far as that goes, but everything else he added, I really like, man. You get a better story arc of Drago, what's going on in here. There's one part where Rocky gets out of his corner and you see all the blood on the post. I mean, stuff like that just adds to the fight, man. I feel like there's a lot more emotion. There's a lot more at stake. It's just, it's more dramatic, I guess. That's what can I say. It's more emotional. It's more dramatic. Whereas the other ones, there's more fist pumping. There's more, it could be more exciting maybe. I think it's better, it's faster paced with the cutting and everything like that. Product of its time kind of thing. But this one, man, I think is just brutal. Just love it to death. Coming at number 2 is the original Rocky fight. Now, what can you say? Now, this is probably the quickest fight. I mean, it goes by pretty quick, probably because of the budget. Stallone has said, you know, it's a perfect movie. He just wished he could have had more of a crowd there in the fight. They kind of intercut like a fake crowd kind of thing. There wasn't a whole lot of people at this fight, but it's the build-up, guys. It's how iconic it is, too. That build-up of, you know, Rocky being this underdog, Apollo taking the fight, you know, this is just a show. I'll knock him out in 3. And then when Apollo realizes he's in a fight, that this boxer is not going to quit no matter what. And there's that great metaphor, right? Right at round 14, it's probably the best movie moment in history of all time where Rocky gets knocked down and he gets back up because Apollo's representing life, right? We all get knocked down by life. This is the Rocky philosophy. And we get back up no matter what. And the way Rocky gets back up, pounds on his ribs, man, it's just awesome. And you mean, Rocky's taking a pummeling through this. Out of all the Rocky fights, I feel like the makeup in this is where it looks like he took the biggest beating of his life out of all the Rocky fights. Maybe this and number 2. I mean, they have to cut his eye so he can see and the blood comes out. Just crazy stuff, man. And, you know, he gets the last punch in. Apollo's on the ropes when the bell rings. He goes the distance. We see Adrian come to the ring. It's just beautiful, and I love the score through this Rocky fight. Man, it just hits you right on the heartstrings and the feels. It's absolutely terrific, and it's just a great fight. A great color palette, too, with the USA, the red, white, and blue, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I just love everything about this fight. It's iconic. And of all the other Rocky fights, this one has something to say the most. And it's just a great conclusion to a perfect film. Coming at number 1, guys, is the Rocky 2 fight. I absolutely just love this fight to death. I love what Rocky goes through, the journey we go on through with him, the ups and the downs. He gets married. He has a kid. You know, Adrian doesn't want him fighting, and, you know, she tells him to win, and he trains his ass off. And then it's the build up, really. And this time we get to see the real Apollo Creed, and he comes out just jacked and throwing lefts, rights, uppercuts, trying to take Rocky out early. But, you know, with Rocky, it's all heart, man. He just won't go down. And they do a little thing in the narrative that Rocky fights right-handed. He learns to fight right-handed here. They did that because Stallone ripped his chest when he was bench pressing, and he was all stitched up, so they had to hide that part of his body. So that's kind of why it's in there. I mean, it fits for the story pretty good. Mick keeps telling him to switch to southpaw, right? Switch to southpaw. Rocky won't switch, but at the end, I think he really switches. And it's dramatic, man. Right at the end, they knock each other down, and who gets up first. Stallone pushes everything with the tension, the suspense right to the final moment, right? When it's all in slow-mo, and it's like, get up. Who's going to get up first? I mean, who knows, man? I could imagine being in the theater, seeing this for the first time, being like, oh my God, they're not going to make him lose again. Are they? Is Apollo going to get up? Because it's that point where Apollo just gives up slightly and Rocky just has more stamina and gets up. And that end speech he gives, man, the belt where he raises the belt. I want to say one thing to my wife at home. Yo, Adrian, I did it. Man, that's one of the most emotional beats in this whole franchise that pulls on your heartstrings. It's incredible. And they freeze frame that shot where he's hugging Mickey. Man, you could have ended this at Rocky 1 and Rocky 2. It would have been perfect. Oh, still is perfect, but you know what I mean? Just absolutely love this fight, man. It has all the fist pump moments you could possibly want. Rocky taking punishment, Rocky giving out punishment. And at the end of Rocky 2, at the end of round 2 there, where he's like, yo, Apollo, I'm standing here. Come on. You know what I mean? I just love that. It gets you so excited. And I like how Rocky's like punching on his arms a lot in this, wearing Apollo's arms out so he'll drop. You know what I mean? And that's where he just goes for the kill and busts him right up. Just amazing. Great color palette too, and there's a lot of mist in there in the cinematography inside the ring. I just really like the way this is shot, man. Great, great fight. So that's how I feel about all the end fights in the Rocky franchise, guys. Let me know how you feel about them. Let me know what you think of this video and all that jazz. Slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and all that jazz. And there is the next video you guys should be watching. Go down the rabbit hole. And I will see you next time. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. I'll see you next time, and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.